Super impressed with that.
Not only did he run like he was 25, he had the fastest play in a game for himself since 2020. I think that's huge.
Yeah.
I thought going into the season, I was like, you have Tom Brady contacting Julio Jones. What's Tom Brady known for? Well, Gronk was retired because he was perpetually injured. And what's Tom Brady do? It's like, hey, I know this guy, Alex Guerrero. Help me out. This is why I'm playing till 45. Julio Jones, it looks like he did the exact same training program with him. And they're running the ball with him. Like they had some Deebo Samuel plays from last year in the Niners book. They put him in the backfield. He was coming out of it. And then he made a huge catch where Tom Brady threw him a beautiful deep ball. And you have Julio Jones as kind of like their gadget guy almost in this game, which was really interesting. And then you have Mike Evans, who 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. What more can you ask for? And oh yeah, Leonard Fournette. Oh no, he's out overweight. Are the Bucs gonna have a? Yeah, Leonard Fournette's gonna be fine. He looked like a tank in this game. They struggled, but I'll give credit to the Cowboys defense. But I didn't think the Cowboys offense was going to be good at all this year. And I was skeptical of CeeDee Lamb being the number one guy because I didn't think they had any other weapons besides him. Worst offensive line, terrible run game. Zeke is over the hill. Tony Pollard is okay. And Dak is not a transcending quarterback. And he got hurt, and he's going to be out from 4 to 6 weeks. So no faith in the Cowboys, and I think they're going to be probably the third worst team. I think the Commanders are going to be better offense and comparable defense this year, so I think the Commanders are the better team in the division.
I think the Cowboys could potentially, depending on how well the Giants play, got to get another week or two before I can put my arms around how they played. The Cowboys could finish last. I mean, they're going to be starting Cooper Rush for the next 6 weeks. That could potentially be 6 losses because they have a pretty tough schedule ahead of them. We'll go over that in a second. But CeeDee Lamb, 11 targets. He only riled in 2 of those catches. Not very good. Back to Julio Jones, though. Keep in mind that Julio Jones last year was banged up throughout the season. He finished with 31 catches, 434 yards, and 1 touchdown for the Titans. There was another old wide receiver looking for a fresh start, looking to regain his poise.
Who was that?
This guy, 42 catches, 553 yards, 3 touchdowns in his team. An unsuccessful start with this team being the Oakland Raiders in 2006. I'm, of course, talking about Randy Moss. Now, I'm not going to say Julio Jones is going to have a Randy Moss-like season. However, what I'm saying is you have an all-time great wide receiver, join forces with Tom Brady, and I think that he's going to rebound his career. We looked like I thought for a minute that Julio Jones was completely done, especially because there wasn't much interest in him, it seemed like. But this could turn out. I can see Julio Jones having a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to appreciate how awesome it is we get to see Tom Brady play with Julio Jones and Mike Evans. I mean, two of the best receivers of our generation. Not a lot of people talk about Mike Evans, but 7 straight years with 1,000 yards receiving. He is the ultimate competitor, the ultimate example of consistency, jump ball guy. He's gritty. He'll make the tough catch and he'll make big plays. We saw him and Brady kind of rope-a-dope. They were playing backyard football versus the Rams when they were trying to come back in the game, and they almost pulled it off. If you had Julio Jones and he's, 55 to 70% of himself, that's just a joy to watch with Tom Brady. And I think Brady this year is going to make a push. It's his last year, so he's trying to get to the Super Bowl. And one thing I'll say, as bad as the Cowboys offense is, I think the Bucs defense was awesome. I mean, the secondary locked down the receivers. Winfield Jr. was getting in people's face, which is the mojo is kind of where they need is corner on that defense. And then Devin White, Levante David, spectacular as always. And my favorite new head coach this year has to be Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles looked great. I like the other offensive function too, because it seemed like there was much more of a system and a strategy compared to Bruce Arians, which is just, let's just huck it down the field. So I feel like Tom Brady, he's had a lot of interceptions the last 2 years, just like 10 to 12. But back in New England, much more efficient. I feel like with Todd Bowles, he's going to be a lot more efficient. That run game is going to be a lot more consistent. And obviously the receiver core is going to be just fine.
Yeah, the receiver core is going to be just fine. But overall, with that game, it would lead us into our surprise